And it's starting. Gonna wait for the YouTube link to pop up because there's a little bit of delay.
Okay.
All right, so it's going. All right, I'm American Greyson. This is Pure Politics, and we are joined by Paleocon Dalton. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me, man. I'm really excited for this. This is going to be great.
Yeah, so I reached out to you because I saw that you did a peaceful protest at the Daily Wire, and I thought that was pretty cool. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that. When I was watching the video, you went out there with a big sign, and you're asking Ben Shapiro to come out and debate, because Ben Shapiro's all about free speech, debate, talking about people.
Yep.
Tell me a little bit about that. What was the sign, and did Ben come out?
Well, so what I want to say to preface all this, right? Nothing online tells you where they are located, and that first thing was like a red flag. I'm like, okay, well, I know they're in Nashville. I got to find these guys. I want to go out there and do a little trolling, with my sign, and peacefully protest on like a public sidewalk nearby. So a few people that I know found the address, and I went out there. I just sort of pulled up to this place that I thought was it. And lo and behold, I look in the window there, and I see their little Daily Wire flag, their little logo that they have, and in sort of a neon flag back there. So I was like, okay, I'm in the right place. Cool. So I got my sign out, and I'm walking up. I'm on the live stream. I'm not trying to show too much of the place off because, I want to be there to peacefully protest. I don't want to dox these people, despite how much I disagree with them, in every possible way. I don't want to be, obnoxious about it. So I sort of walked around the area, and sadly, I did not see Ben Shapiro. But here's the very interesting thing. As I was walking around, all the windows were like had a very dark tint. So I could see people were inside. And like 15 minutes earlier, Ben Shapiro had posted a picture in one of his offices at this location. So I knew he was there. So I'm walking around, right? I got my sign. I'm holding it up so they can see through the window at me, because I know I can't see in at them. I walk around the building. I come back around, still holding it up, and lo and behold, like 10 security guards come outside. And at that moment, I'm thinking, okay, I don't need a trespassing charge or anything like that. So I start to walk back out to the little parking lot area out there, and one of the security guards comes running up behind me, and he says, "Hey man, what are you doing out here?" So I said, "Well, I'm trying to find the Daily Wire headquarters." And he was like, "Well, I can't confirm or deny if that's here." So at that moment, I was like, "Great, this has been a success. I know I made it. I know they saw me. I was there. Perfect." And he told me that it was private property. I could not video. I could not protest there or anything like that. I don't know if that's entirely true, because I was in a parking lot. So there was like reserved parking, and then there looked to be almost like public parking, like a public parking lot out there. That's where I parked. And but either way, I still was very respectful. I didn't want to cause a scene, and I just said, all right, well, God bless you. Thank you for letting me know. I'll head on out of here. So I got in my truck, and I started it up, and the security guards start walking towards my truck. And I'm like, man, like, you guys got to be kidding me. Is Mossad about to get me right now? Yeah, this is too early in the game. So I start to sort of pull out of the parking spot. The security guard's still standing there. So I roll my window down, and I'm like, hey man, is there anything I can do for you? Why are you still standing here? He's like, oh man, I'm just checking with higher ups, making sure I'm in the right spot. Immediately at that moment, I was like, okay, he's going to get my license plate. I might get a trespassing ticket in the mail at worst. But at best, I'm just banned from the property. So I went ahead, I pulled out, looked at my rear view, got a picture of my license plate. I waved to the security guard standing on the side, with a big smile on my face, and pulled on out of there. So yeah, man, it wasn't too eventful, but I think they saw me, and that's what's important.
Oh yeah, well definitely security came out there, so Ben Shapiro probably saw that and was like, send out the goons, we got to get rid of this guy.
Yep. Yeah. Somebody came out. I don't know who this was. Somebody who was not security came out, and as I was sort of walking around the back, he sort of looked at me over the gate that was sort of around their little building there, and was watching me on his phone, and I was like, okay, so I'm about to get into some security trouble here. That's why I immediately walked out to the parking lot, because I was like, I'm not going to risk getting arrested or some type of trespassing ticket because I'm doing a protest.
Well, it's worth also bringing up, you were dressed in a nice suit from what I saw in the pictures. You weren't dressed like right now. You're on vacation. But you showed up
Yeah.
in a suit and tie. You had a sign. What did the sign say?
So, yeah, no, that's a great point. So normally I'm very like, I'm for the physiognomy. I always present myself very well. I like to wear a suit. I pretty much wear one every day. I think it's just respectful, dress how you feel kind of thing. I'm on vacation right now, so I'm a little bit more relaxed, but that's very typical for me. But I wanted to go out there, represent my point well, and be respected by whoever was there who may have seen me. And not only that, but my sign, it just simply said debate Nick Fuentes, because this is something that Ben Shapiro has been dodging for years. I mean, I'm sure you and many of your viewers have seen the classic clip of Nick playing Grand Theft Auto, and
Yeah.
murdering, as he says, Ben Shapiro. That's such a cope. That's such a, that guy. If you pretend to kill somebody in Grand Theft Auto, it doesn't mean you're getting a real death threat. That guy needs to relax. He needs to just chill out and just debate this guy, because this guy shills for Israel every chance he can, and it doesn't make any sense to me. So, I went out there with the idea that just to make just to make the presence heard. Like, hey, people want you to debate Nick Fuentes. I didn't go out there thinking I'm gonna meet Ben Shapiro, or I'm going to get Ben Shapiro to debate Nick. I went out there just simply for the physiognomy, just to let them know Groypers are still out there, America Firsters are still out there, Paleocons, we are watching you. We are ready. We're always around, and we're everywhere. We are the future of conservatism in the United States. That was the whole point of the mission, if you will.
Yeah, America First is unstoppable. And it's really interesting. We all know that Ben Shapiro, he's promoted by Facebook. Every single conservative took hits with interactions, and Ben Shapiro picked them all up. So there's definitely something interesting there. If people trust Facebook, then they should trust Ben Shapiro. But if you don't trust social media, don't trust Ben Shapiro. That's the message I'm getting.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you look at the amount of money spent by Ben Shapiro and the Daily Wire corporation, into Facebook, I mean, it is enormous. I mean, they are the biggest ad buyers on Facebook right now. And I mean, like, you think about all the left-wing media organizations that you would think Facebook would be promoting because of their bias. I mean, it doesn't even compare, not even close to the amount of money that the Daily Wire is putting into Facebook. It's insane.
Yeah, yeah. Going back to the Nick question, if Nick's position was really as fragile as they like to say, because they refuse to debate him and they go on these long-winded speech about how he's wrong, if he was wrong, why not just expose him? It doesn't make sense why they would run away from him.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, Ben Shapiro gave a speech, a 45-minute speech, basically on why he would not debate, or just trash talking, not even why he wouldn't debate Nick, but just trash talking Nick Fuentes. And it's like, look, man, if you have the amount of time and air to waste on somebody that you don't want to debate, then why wouldn't you just handle it? Like even just talking to the guy, like you could handle it off camera, off audio, whatever you want to do. Just talk to the guy, let him know your position. Maybe there's something going on that maybe we can meet some kind of understanding, but clearly that this guy is so sold out, so just useless. He's such a grifter. He cares nothing about the American people. Like, do you think, honestly, that Ben Shapiro is advocating for any real change in this country? Because the guy's been in media for years, but has there been anything that has resulted of him being in media? Because I can tell you, there has been a difference since Nick Fuentes joined the scene. People are actually following through with these conservative ideas, and it's promoting things like getting married young, having children, embracing Christianity. Like, people are coming to this stuff from Nick Fuentes. He's actually creating a change. Somebody like Ben Shapiro doesn't care about that. He likes to get, just these very generalized talking points and then spout them off on his show that mean absolutely nothing. He's a total grifter.
He said it. He said
exactly.
He loves money, and that's exactly what his show is about, making money.
well, how could he not love money, if you know what I mean? If you get where I'm getting at.
Yeah. And the America First movement that Nick pretty much represents now, he's the most articulate, and he's the face of the movement itself, but it's a lot of different people. It's not a fringe movement at all. I mean, I live here in Arizona. Representative Paul Gosar is a big America First supporter. We have other Congress people, Marjorie Taylor Greene. We have Lauren Whiskey, who ran. We have a lot of people in the federal government who support this. This is not a fringe movement happening at all.
No, and that's the thing that so many people get wrong when they're talking about Gripers or America Firsters, Paleocons, whatever you want to call us. I mean, at the end of the day, like, they can say, "Oh, this is an internet ideology. This isn't real," whatever. But at the end of the day, man, like, we're actually getting stuff done. We're not ANCAPs, you know what I mean? We're not these people who just spout off these ideas and it's all based in like theology and there's no pragmatics there. We actually believe in pragmatically fixing our government and in the society that we live in. And that's why, I take it so seriously. So when people say, "Oh, it's an internet ideology, it doesn't really exist," I say, hey, look at somebody like Paul Gosar, okay? Like, this guy may not be 100% perfect, but I guarantee you he is actually fighting for the American people, and especially the people of Arizona who he represents. And every single day I am seeing new people coming out and saying, "Hey, I want to be an America First candidate. I want to run for office." There's this guy who I had on my Instagram live, I think 2 or 3 days ago. His name is Nick Torres, and he is running in the California 45th district as an America First candidate. And I told him, I was like, "Hey, look, this is a long shot. You're not a nut job, right?" He was like, "Yeah, absolutely. I know that this is crazy, But the point is, he wants to get out there and make his point very clear that this is what he stands for. He said, "I stand for no immigration at all. Cut the border off. I stand for, no more foreign aid to any other nation. We need to fix what's going on in America before we can help others." All this stuff. And I'm like, you know what? I respect that. And this is what's going to bring this stuff to reality. People actually running, people actually proposing these ideas, in the public square. And being true to themselves. I mean, that's just incredible. And that's what you don't get that from Turning Point. You don't get that from the Daily Wire, because these people don't do anything outside of their offices and outside of their podcasts. I promise you.
100%. I noticed that going out and about in America, a lot of TPUSA guys are coming over to the America First movement because they're finding that TPUSA, there's like a glass ceiling there. At a certain point, they're saying, "Well, where's the action? Where's the legislation? Where's getting stuff done?" And then they see America First, that we are actually getting candidates to put forth legislation that puts America first.
Yeah, well, that's something I was talking about the other day, was the fact I know people in Turning Point right now who are truly like aiming for America First policies, or who truly care about America First and are actually on the side of these Paleocons, Gripers, whatever. But they're sort of like infiltrating the Turning Point movement, because what they want to do is they want to subvert it. They want to bring more of these young conservatives, because Turning Point has this talent or this ability or whatever it is to drag in these like very young kids who are very energetic about politics, and then manipulating them and then creating like little, neoconservatives, little libertarians, that hold up these big government sucks signs and socialism sucks and all this nonsense. But with these new people, with these people going into Turning Point, who we trust, who are sort of allies of America First, like, those people are really going to bring a ton of young people in support of true conservatism, and I'm very happy to see it. The one thing that really grinds my gears about about Turning Point, especially, is the leadership that is female, who I've called out on multiple occasions. I'm blocked by who knows how many female leaders in Turning Point, and they are they are stupid, they are whores, they are grifters, and they care absolutely nothing about the United States. They truly just want the fame that comes with being a political commentator, the money that comes with it, whatever it may be. That's all they want. This one girl, Alex Clark, I mean, she posted a ton. I'm sorry. It's been on my mind because I sort of shared she called us out. Okay. She called Gripers out. She said that we were racist, basement dwelling losers. Let me go ahead and tell you, I'm in Florida right now, okay, with my wife, okay, and I own a house. I'm definitely not a basement dweller, all right. And this Alex Clark girl, I don't know what her deal is. She runs some type of like weird, like, pop culture show. Nobody wants to hear you talk about pop culture, you dumb bitch. I promise you that. Nobody wants to hear that. So I wish that she would just go disappear, go do something that's actually helpful, go maybe have some kids, go find a man, go get married, go settle down, whatever you got to do. She's stupid. And I'm really tired of hearing from her, because that post she made, if any of you guys want to go see it, it's on my Instagram. I shared her post. I mean, it is absolutely disgusting, and it's total misinformation. But that's the type of stuff that they're leaking out here. This is what Turning Point is offering young conservatives nowadays.
Well, they're not sending their best, and it's actually pretty unfortunate, because very few, I mean, hashtag not all, but most women are not good leaders, but very few of them are good leaders. And the fact that TPUSA is putting forth women just for looks instead of their experience and ability, it's just bad for women in general, in my opinion. They're not sending their best.
Well, exactly. I mean, you look at what Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes, has Michelle Malkin working with America First. Like, that's totally fine. Michelle Malkin is a respectable woman who is actually working hard for the American people. I always say, 5% of the women should be in the workforce, and 5% should be, out there doing things that are influential in politics, whatever. But the rest need to be at home, not because that's a standard of below men, but because that is more important. That is what truly changes our society and our culture. That is it. That's just recognizing what defines America.
That's just recognizing the strength of women and then praising them for those strengths. We're both unique. We're unique. Men and women complement each other.
Yep. And that's not a new take, and that's not an offensive take. That's not if that's a sexist take, I'll be a proud sexist, because that is absolutely ridiculous. And that's nothing new to say. Like, this is obvious stuff.
Yeah, this is a great segue into talking about Christianity, because a lot of the America First movement seems to be predicated on coming back to Christ, promoting Christianity. Yes. A lot of them are Catholics. I come from a Protestant background myself. Why do you think that is? Why do you think Christianity is so big with America First?
Because Christianity is so big because we recognize the importance of Christianity within America. We understand that this is where America came from. Protestantism, very simply, was like part of the reason why people came to America, was because they wanted to be able to believe what they believe in. You know what I mean? Like, people were like, we are Christians. We want to be able to practice our Protestant Christianity here, whether that be non-denominational, Baptist, whatever it is. But at the same time, I have the utmost respect for Catholics because of the fact that they have a very organized way of doing things. Something that Protestants need to be calling out right now is first of all, acceptance of degeneracy. And when I say acceptance, I don't mean, of course we need to pray for everyone who may be struggling with degenerate behavior, but also we need to be calling it out. And we can't just say this is okay. It's not okay. We need to fix the situation, and we need to look at our society and say, hey, where are we going wrong? Why is it okay that women are dancing naked on TV? Why is it okay that children are becoming addicted to nicotine, watching pornographic material, etc.? We as Christians need to be calling that out. And there's nothing wrong with utilizing the government and its power to help and heal our society from the corruption that's been given to us by Satan.
That's actually a very historical American value, what you just said. In the original founding of America, through pretty much the last 150 years since then, we have used the government to promote American values. And in many ways, America is a Christian nation. It's only recently, post-World War II liberal order, where we've decided to go down this path of true secularism. It's never truly existed before that in America. We've always been pro-Christian.
No. Something I always like to bring up is philosophers all throughout history before, I would say, 1600, something like that. It was very common to understand that freedom is not freedom if you're just 100% free. What it means is you're free from your desires and from your temptations. So if you are free from those, then you are truly free. If you are a slave to, let's say, pornography, to nicotine. I'm a slave to nicotine, and I've voiced that openly. You know, I wish that the government would have made tobacco and nicotine illegal back when I was 14 years old, because I wouldn't have started smoking when I was 16. You know what I mean? I was a very young, impressionable kid, and I made that stupid decision because it was available to me. And the point is, we need to be fixing like the corruption. We need to be fixing the degenerate behavior that is accepted among the American people. And we need to utilize our Christian morality to do so. That's the whole point. And at the end of the day, that is the most important. In terms of America first, that's the most important, because once you do that, I mean, all the other problems are easy to take care of.
Yeah, very true. I was in LA a couple days ago at an Antifa riot, and it was like the traditional anti-American rhetoric, but it was something I'd never seen before, is that these people were violently hateful of anything Christianity, anything Jesus Christ, and they voiced it so openly. It was just the theme of their riot is just anti-Christian.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, if you go out, right, like if you think back to 50, if you think back to 50 years ago, right, somebody could openly disagree with you and there wouldn't have been an issue, right? Like the atheists would still get along with the Christians probably, and it would just be, you know, hey, we disagree, whatever. But now, I mean, the amount of hatred that comes from people who do not agree with conservatives, I mean, the amount of, like, I'm talking real hatred. People saying, you know, punch a Nazi, when they're not even punching Nazis. They're punching Joe Schmo, you know, who owns a small business, you know, and he's not doing anything wrong. He's out there saying, hey, I love my country. I want to put my country first. He's not doing anything wrong. But just saying that alone, not even bringing Christ into it. Once you bring Christ into it, that opens a whole nother can of worms. And that's what that really gets people going. But if you just say, hey, I want to put America first, oh man, they hate you. They want to tear you down. They want to cancel you. They want to destroy your life. They want to call you all of these names. They want to attack you physically, mentally, spiritually. They want to attack you. And that's something that I think, first of all, that Nick Fuentes has done a great job of doing, encouraging people to say, hey, to hell with them. They don't matter to us. They don't influence us. The people who truly stand by us and are our friends and our family, they won't listen to that stuff. They won't listen to that nonsense. So let's just be real. Let's just be real about what we believe in, and let's take it out in public, and let's be truthful to the American people. That's what I love so much about this movement.
100%. And that's actually what you did with your protest that got me going with this interview.
Yeah, so, I went out there. I made it public.
Yeah, we need more people like that. I've been saying that I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the show because we've been going for about 20 minutes. You got a vacation to get to. But I've been saying repeatedly that we need more individuals to get out there to do real life activism. We need more people to take up leadership roles because we have a lot of energy in this movement. The America First, just crazy energy. It's more than 2016 Trump energy. But we don't have leaders to direct it. So we need more people to get out there.
Yeah, well, I encourage anybody who's watching right now to seriously go and or watching in the future to seriously just like go out and, you know, it doesn't have to be an organized rally, man. Like you can go out any time of the day to your public square, to your town hall, wherever you want to go, and just say the message that you want to say, whether it be America First or whether it be, you know, defund or foreign aid to Israel or, you know, homosexuality is wrong or whatever it may be, man. Spread your message far and wide, even if you're alone, because I promise you're not alone in spirit. You're not alone in heart. Just go out there and do it. I went out there alone with my Debate Nick Fuentes sign, you know, and, but I was still live streaming and I knew people were there, you know, encouraging it. They believed what I believed. People out there believe what you believe. So go out there and go and do it.
Yeah. That was great optics, by the way.
Yeah. I thought so too. It was fantastic.
So let's plug your social media. Where can people find you?
Yeah, so you guys can find me on Instagram at Paleocon_Dalton. You can find me on Twitter at Paleocon_Dalton. You can find me on Getter now. I'm trying to get banned though, so go like my unoptical stuff at Paleocon_Dalton. And you can go find me on TikTok, even though I don't post that much, at Paleocon_Dalton. So that's, and YouTube Dalton Clodfelter. If you look up paleoconservatism, then my name, Dalton Clodfelter, I should come right up. Should be good.
Nice. Very, very simple for people to go find you on all those different platforms.
Exactly. I keep it easy.
All right. I'm hoping that I can get you on in the future. We can talk about some other stuff. And the America First movement is inevitable.
No.
Amen, brother. God bless.
All right. Thanks for coming on, Paleocon
Thank you
Dalton.
for having me. Thank you for having me. God bless.